Hello everybody, here we are again with another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're actually going to be going over the next chain battle coming to JP Dokkan. This will be on the 10th of November, so in about 2 weeks-ish or so. This chain battle is going to drop at the usual time, however. This is very interesting though. They are giving us actually details ahead of time. I believe this is the first time they're doing this for a chain battle, which is very nice because they kind of really just dropped what the categories do last minute. They didn't really give people time to prepare it. And I feel like they really probably realized that after just making all the world tournament units just randomly strong against it. And even then in chain battle in general, they just kind of drop it off, and then it takes like a day or two for people to actually get all those units ready. And that's really when people will start trying. I feel like they kind of want like more productivity at the beginning, first 1, 2, 3 days or so. So they're letting us know ahead of time which units are strong. If we go over the categories, it'll be Shadow Dragon Saga, Grade 8 Power. So obviously for the first two, they're kind of telling you to summon for the new Super Saiyan for Gogeta, which is pretty obvious. And along with that, Inhuman Deeds. So Inhuman Deeds is the final category that's also going to be strong. I kind of do like the choice of category. The only thing I would say is that all three of these categories are pretty small, but the good thing is that they're actually picking a villain category for this. Many of the times the categories were just all basic superclass categories, and that is pretty good for the superclass team, but it makes the extreme units kind of weird to run. People aren't really running exact teams, concise teams of what you would really want. A lot of people are just running Cells, Frieza, stuff like that. And honestly, for many people, it kind of could mess up their mode if they don't have the special units running, because some people will feel like it's better to run all Cells or Friezas, even though it's probably not the case, at least in the past chain battles that we've seen, at least the past 2 or 3. So it's very good that they're introducing a villain category, because it does just help the villain side out a lot, in my opinion, and allow people to get higher scores easier. So you can see that as a good thing or a bad thing, but anyways, let's continue on. One last thing I want to go talk about before we go on and look over the categories and see what units you could really run. These are the special units for this new mode. So of course we do see the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Mine is not Dokkan Awakened yet. Video should be coming up soon. I actually don't even have the medals for it yet, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that later. This Int Spirit Bomb Kid Goku is also going to be a special unit, so that's basically why the biggest reason they're bringing back the Omega Shenron raid. I was a little confused. It made sense because it's a GT event, and that event has been back out in a while, but they want you to be able to farm that Kid Goku for this event, chain battle specifically, which is good for many free-to-play players. He's a decent card. He has aged a bit though, so there's the Tech Super Saiyan 4 Full Power Saiyan, the Tech Super Full Power Saiyan for Goku. I don't really use him that much, so I mean it's nice to be able to use him again now for sure. And the Tech Super Saiyan for Gogeta. So there is still a use for this Tech Super Saiyan for Gogeta after all. I just recorded the video where I went with the Dokkan event, and I was like, well, yeah, this is the last time I'm going to use this guy, because I want to use him in Physical Omega for the last times. But it seems that since this chain battle information is now, I guess I'm going to use him another one last time in chain battle, but it was kind of different because it's a whole different mode entirely. Other than that, that's really all there is to it from what I was looking at it. Let's go ahead. We're going to be looking at my box specifically. I have most of the units. I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm missing a lot of units because I do spend money in the game, obviously. So if we firstly go ahead, we'll take a look at the Shadow Dragon Saga category itself. It's a very small category. Some of the units are unawakened though. That's why I will say, because I am lazy. Or I have some of them unawakened waiting for last dupes. But we do have a decent amount of options here. What you probably want to go with, if we go ahead and also might as well bring up both of these categories here. And to superclass specifically. There's no superclass unit on Inhuman Deeds, so we won't even have to worry about that. Let's look at what you would run for the super team specifically. Yeah, let's change that up a little. You kind of just want to run all Saiyan Roar. Your best bet would just be running all Super Saiyan 4s, I would say, because they would all share Super Saiyan, GT, a lot of them share Kamehameha, a lot of them share Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Saiyan Roar specifically, which is why it does hurt, especially if you consider this chain battle that Super Saiyan for Gogeta does not have Saiyan Roar, but at the very least he does share many other links with them. He does need that Fused Fighter link, I would say more important than the Saiyan Roar link, but they could have probably gotten rid of, I say Shocking Speed, but at the same time, Shocking Speed does help him link with many of the Extreme Class units on Shadow Dragon Saga, so I don't know. They will have GT anyway, so I guess it could have been either way. You could also run some of the Great Ape units as well, because basically I would say the most important thing is that they have at least Saiyan Roar and Fierce Battle together, so a lot of these Great Ape units actually are Shattering the Limit. But you could, I would say a good Superclass team you could also run is just a Team Bardock. Because the Team Bardock, they share all the very many similar links together. They'll have Prepared for Battle, they'll have the Team Bardock link, Saiyan Roar, stuff like that. Shattering the Limit as well, so that could be also another option you could run, but the best one of course would be all Super Saiyan 4s. So just, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, the Int Gogeta, this guy actually you want to run for sure. Because he is a special unit, but you don't really need to run him, because as long as you have the other special units Super Saiyan 4s, you should be fine regardless. So basically this guy, and this guy, as long as you have those guys on your Superclass team, you'll be good to go. Even honestly, you could possibly even run just a Gogeta team, and that might work pretty decent as well. But this all depends on what you find on your friends list. Oh yeah, this Nova is Superclass as well, so that's something I forgot about. If you could, I guess you could run this Nova if you want, but I mean, he won't really fit well with the Superclass team. That's the only unfortunate thing. But it is very interesting that he's Superclass, and it's very good because he'll be on the Worthy Rivals team. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the Extreme Class for these categories, Inhuman Deeds. How does that look like? I haven't. Let me bring up Vegeta and Nappa real quick. I don't have the kanji completely 100% memorized, so it's the 4 kanji one. Sorry guys, I am the worst thing ever. Let's see if we could find this together, because this sucks. I believe this should be the Inhuman Deeds category. And let's do this. I do have just specifically AGL, and let's bring up UR and LR. Yes, this should be the Inhuman Deeds category. Bring up Extreme Class specifically. Yeah, this looks like the Inhuman Deeds category for sure. Super 17 is on Inhuman Deeds. I forgot about that. Is he? He is. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I know for sure because LR Baby and this is basically the only category that Vegeta and Nappa are on besides Pure Saiyans and Terrifying Conquerors, so this is definitely that category. If we go ahead and take a look at the units here, I would say your best options would probably be trying to run a Saiyan-esque team, maybe with Baby there. At least, the very least, there's so many more options for this extreme team. You could run Frieza's. I think Frieza's would actually be the best option, really thinking about it. Because you could run the same name units on the same team. So you can run like this Golden Frieza, this guy. You can run this Transforming Frieza. You could even run LR Baby since he does share some links with them. I would say you could run the Shenrons as well, since they are on Shadow Dragon Saga. They do share links together. There's 3 Shenrons here. I wouldn't really run like Vegeta and Nappa. They are the leader of the team, but they don't really have good links at all, to be really honest. That's their biggest downfall. And I've been saying that ever since the release. I do love the unit now a lot, but you know, not having things like Big Bad Bosses, not having things like Fear and Faith. They do have Brutal Beatdown, but you know, it kind of does hold them back from linking very well in these teams. So I don't know. I'd say the Frieza thing is the best way to go. You could also just go Extreme Class Shadow Dragons as well. That could be an option. So Nova, her, this Omega, this Sin Shenron. That's really it for the Shadow Dragons. I mean, you could run Baby with them because Baby will have the GT link. Some of them do have Shattering the Limit, which would be Nova. Her name just disappeared from me. Nova, Oceanus as well. They do have Shattering the Limit. You could even technically farm up the Ice unit if you want. That could be an option as well. But that's really all I would say. There's not too much to really work off. It's basically the same old thing. In the end, you just kind of gotta make sure you get the right units farmed up. Many of the units, luckily, at least for the Friezas, if you want to go with the Frieza route, a lot of the Friezas are farmable. The downside is that if we consider super class here, many of these Super Saiyan 4s are not farmable, so many of them have not been featured in a while. So this chain battle is more so definitely suited for older players, I'd say, rather than newer players. But if you're a newer player, probably, honestly, they gave out so many Kais recently that you may have some Kais, and if you do have some of these units, it would be definitely would be worth investing into them, because a lot of these guys will EZA eventually, and they'll become very good. But definitely, again, even though this chain battle does have an extreme class side, it definitely is very, very easily suited towards super class side. That's really all I have to speak about today in this video. Let me know what you guys are going to run for chain battle. Personally, I think I'm just going to run a Super Saiyan 4 team in all Friezas after looking over the options we have face to face. But let me know what you guys are thinking on. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I will catch you all in the next one.